It was time to meet our first and very special volunteer. Daniel Siebert had flown in from the west coast of America to be with us. Although not an academic or a chemist, he successfully isolated salvinorin A and was the first person to show that this was the active chemical compound in salvia, publishing his results in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology. Well, we're very lucky to have Daniel Siebert here, and I suppose the question that we're all really wanting to know is what it actually feels like to take this plant, what sort of experiences it gives rise to.
Well, I've had quite a range of experiences with the plant, and in different forms, done in the traditional manner of chewing the leaves, as well as experimenting with other methods of ingestion, such as smoking the leaves. The plant, it's a very powerful consciousness-altering herb. Mm-hmm. I find that it's very useful for gaining personal insight. It's not something that really lends itself to any kind of recreational use. It seems to be a very profound experience.
Yeah. Do you actually see things that aren't there? I mean, that's what most people think of as hallucinations.
That's right. It depends on the amount of salvia taken. Yes, it can do that. Usually it doesn't. Usually it's not strong enough to produce that effect, although it clearly can.
Unlike Daniel, our second volunteer, Sean, had no special previous experience of taking salvia. And you're a writer by...
Yeah, that's right. A sort of travel journalist, really, and do some radio work as well.
Mm-hmm. So you're used to reporting your feelings and your experiences?
Yeah, especially sort of to people who may not have been to the same places, which may or may not have some relevance to what we're going to do. But it's, getting over a feeling of trying to describe something other and something alien and something foreign to people who won't have any of the same reference points as I do, trying to describe it in a way that will be meaningful to them.
You must have had some sort of imaginings about what it might be like to do this.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Can you say a bit?
I've been told that it's ritual and its use in sort of ceremony. And so that's something that's informing me. It's going to be a trip of some sort, I would imagine, and that's not something that I'll take lightly. But you guys are all experts, and you'll all be there, so I know I'm safe.
The experiment tomorrow will be the first time that salvia has been subjected to such scrutiny. What will it reveal about the experience? And is it possible that it may help us to understand its sacred status amongst the Mazatecs? We had gathered to find out why Salvia Divinorum is said to give rise to visions and is considered sacred. Would we be able to unlock the mysteries of this plant, so central to the culture of the Mazatec Indians?
Okay, now I'm going to take your blood pressure, so I'm going to put a blood pressure cuff around your arm.
Before they consumed the plant, Tim Kendall gave the volunteers a physical examination. He noted blood pressure and body temperature, both of which might be dramatically altered by the plant, and which would indicate that it was having an effect.
Feeling relaxed?
I'm quite relaxed.
Okay.
John wanted to discover more about the effect of salvia on the brain. Using an EEG machine, he would be able to register Daniel's brain activity both before and during the experience of taking the plant.
What we're looking at here is a number of recordings, EEG recordings. Now, what the EEG can show us is a snapshot, or at least a reflection, of the activity in the brain. What we're looking for is a dream stage of sleep known as REM sleep, where there's relaxed body but high frequency brain activity, which is dreaming, which is maybe our sort of natural hallucinations. If salvia itself produces hallucinations, it might be that it produces a similar effect to a dream state in a subject.
Okay.
Daniel was about to take a plant containing the most potent natural hallucinogen known to man. He did so under strict medical supervision. Salvia might have unpleasant or even dangerous side effects.
Okay.
At 2:35, Daniel, as the experienced volunteer, was the first to smoke a controlled dose of the plant. He had told us that the experience characteristically would only last about 30 minutes, but that at the beginning, in the first moments after smoking salvia, the hallucinations might be so intense that he would be unable to describe them to us, or indeed to speak at all.
Okay. Yeah. That's pretty weird.
Yeah, it's coming down. Immediately after you took it, your blood pressure went up to about 190 over 106, and now it's coming back down again. So it goes quite high. Your pulse rate increased, but not massively.
As salvia started to weaken its hold, Daniel was able to begin to describe his experience.
Yeah, everything looked like it was made out of reflectors, like the kind that are on little posts along the side of the road. It's like those little round red reflectors, orange ones. It looked like this little stripe. There's a whole row of them that went up the side of your arm and made that little chain that went up there, and all those things were gray and red and gray and orange reflectors, making up the shapes up there. And then I realized that the reflectors were connected to the reality of the kind of individuals that I knew, and how all the people made up my life. And it seemed as if everyone else in the room were people that I know in my life, and people from my past, and that they were, and sort of like my, almost as if, I didn't quite go in their direction, but it's as if my whole past went off into this direction, and all my like associates went off into this direction. They sort of all were made up by the people standing around here, and it just sort of continued on. If I went out the side of the door, I'd see more people I knew, and more people would be around there, and my whole rest of my world would connect up. And of course that's the same thing as the real world at some point, but on this experience it's very different. I started feeling like I saw someone from my like my childhood, who was I don't know, very, I was 3 or 4 or some a kid I used to play with named David. Yeah.
David?
Yeah.
Daniel's experience had been reflective and thoughtful, and, as with the known records of the Mazatec Indians, he'd remembered incidents and people from his past. Would Sean's experience be similar?
If you just close your eyes, okay, put your feet together.